Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review on a slew of NYX products, and I'm going to run through them here with you right now, and then I'm going to show you how I apply them, and then I'm going to tell you what I think of all of them. So some of the products I'm going to be using today is the NYX Highlight and Contour Palette. I also have the NYX Strobe of Genius, the NYX Cream Highlight and Contour Palette, because I love to do both, Stay Matte But Not Flat Foundation Powder and Liquid, the NYX Wonder Stick, NYX Shadow Base, and NYX Dark Circle Concealer, and the Cheek Contour, and also the NYX Concealer. I know it sounds like a lot of products, but I tend to use a lot of these type of products every day or when I do my looks, especially for these videos. So I figured it would be a great opportunity to run through how each product is used and show you how I get those more glam looks that I do in a more affordable budget. By the way, for shadows, we're going to be using the NYX Advanced Pop in Surreal My Heart, which is just so pretty. I love these. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat. Actually, no, the first thing I'm going to do is put my hair back. Okay, so now it's a little bit more zoomed in so you can really see exactly what I'm doing to my face. So I start with the Stay Matte Not Flat, and this is in the shade Warm Beige. It's 07. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone, honestly. I didn't realize that when I bought it. So, and my hand is completely stained. My apologies. And my hand is completely stained, so my apologies. I was testing out some of the Anastasia Beverly Hills new the liquid lipsticks that just came out. So since this is a little bit more orange than what I'm used to, I'm really just going to dab a little bit onto my moist makeup beauty blender, and I'm not going to apply too much because I do not want to appear orange. So there we go. As you can see, it's still got that little bit of an orange tinge, but I'm going to take care of that with the later steps. So I have some dark circles on my eyes. You can't see it too much because the foundation is a bit, does its job when it comes to covering. But I'm going to be using the Dark Circle Concealer and Corrector. And it's a little thing like this. And I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to dab it in. Dab it onto the eye. Just like that. And it really helps to take care of those dark circles. And again, with my beauty blender, but this time the pointy side, I'm just going to kind of blend that in, and that's really going to take care of any dark circles. Now I also like to use the concealer, and this one is a high definition mineral enhanced one, and this is the shade, it's a yellowish shade. I like this because it really starts like the highlight process, and I like to use it right around here. And this I put under my highlight. I do a similar technique when I use the Nars Custard. And like I said, this is just like a more affordable version of that. I mean, you can get a mini of Nars Custard from Sephora for like 12 bucks. But you definitely get more use out of this shade, which is the shade, it's actually just called Yellow. And again, the pointy side of my beauty blender, and I blend it in. And I really feel like this sets the tone for all the highlighting that I'm going to do. Just blend that right in. Okay. So now that I have that done, I can either reach for my NYX Wonder Stick or I can reach for my cream highlight. I like the stick for doing my nose, and I like the actual big palette for doing the rest of my face. And I'm going to explain this. So let's start with the highlight. I'm just going to take my beauty blender, just directly put it in there, and I'm going to swirl it around. And I'm just going to do on the middle of my forehead, because with highlighting you just want to get where the light would hit you naturally. And I'll do a little bit down the nose, even though I'm going to get a more defined nose with the Wonder Stick. I also like to put a little on my chin, and also a little bit right on my Cupid's bow. So I do that. Now I'll pretty much diffuse it a little bit under my eye, even though I've already done that. I'm going to get that in, get that bright look. And then with the Wonder Stick, which has two sides, you have your highlight side and you have your contour side, which is really versatile. I'll use it kind of, because they look like little lipsticks. And I'll just take this side, I'll take the contour side, and I'll just draw along my nose. Just a light amount, like I'm not trying to go too crazy, I'm not trying to go like hyper. And I'll also draw a little bit of a line here, and a little bit of a line here, just to kind of give myself a guideline, and I'll do a little something like that. Now when it comes to the sides of my nose, I'm not going to really touch that again. But for the sides of my cheek and for my forehead, I'm going to come back to my cream palette here. Now since these are more targeted areas, I don't use the Beauty Blender at first. I'll use, this is a contour brush. It was one of the aerial collections for, it was an aerial collection for Walgreens, so this was a drugstore brush, but you probably can find one from NYX in your local Target. So I'm just gonna sweep it across, and then following my guideline, I'll just sweep up in this way. And then again, I'll kind of start at the middle and I'll sweep up. And then I kind of touch up here, add a little bit more in there. There you go. You know, sometimes I'll just define the jaw. I'm not going to be doing that today. So again, with my moist Beauty Blender, I blend it all out. What I love about the NYX palette is you can see how easy it is to blend. Very easy. So now I'm just about done. As you can see, I really got kind of like a bronzed look going on, and I try to tone that down when I put my powder on. Now people talk about baking this and baking that, and I love baking my face, but there's nothing wrong going the traditional route and using a powder like this. Now I don't want to use it super concentrated, so I'm not going to use the sponge applicator that's included. I'm going to use a fluffier brush, and I have a Sonia K all over face brush here, and I'm just going to swirl it in, right? And instead of baking it, I'm just going to tap a little bit excess off, and I'm just going to go like this. And this is also going to help blend in all the highlight and contour I just did, and also kind of soften everything. Also, I find the powder makes everything last a little bit longer. Now if you notice with the highlight and contour palette, I didn't use the highlighting shimmer shade because I prefer to do my highlight over my powder, and you'll see that. So I'm going to start with a dome-shaped brush from Sonia K, and I'm going to swirl it in, like really swirl. You got to be careful because look, super powdery. So be careful. And I'm just going to dab it right here. And this is kind of where I do my baking when it comes to NYX. Usually I bake using translucent powder, but with NYX I have no problem baking using their highlight palette. So I do that, do a little bit more down the nose, a little bit right there, and then a little bit there and there. And I let that sit and I don't touch that. But while that's sitting, I do like to apply a little bit of the bronzer, and I use a slanted fluffy brush. And I like to put it in this not so dark color right here. And by the way, the yellow shade that I used is called Cream, and the brown shade that I'm using is called Toffee. So yeah, I'm using Toffee right here, and I just kind of do that. As you can see, it just adds a little bit more, and I don't do my nose, I don't do anything like that. So now that I've let my face sit a little bit and bake, I'm just going to blend it all together again. I didn't dip this brush in anything. This is the same brush I used earlier, but I didn't re-dip it in anything. Now pretty much my highlight contour is done, but when I say highlight, I don't mean like my shimmery highlight. I'm going to do that as well using the Strobe of Genius palette. And this features a lot of different highlights in here. A lot of different stuff going on. If you look here, a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be using the golden shade, and the golden shade I don't think has a name, so I'm just going to be using that. And I have an NYX fan brush, so this is actually from them. And my only complaint is that, like, if I wanted to move this around, the gold here is so small that I can't move it as much as I wanted to. Even with these, it's like their own brush just barely makes it, you know? So I'm going to use the gold, and I'm going to use like the very tip of it, and I'm just going to apply it like this. I love to shine like a disco ball, so I'm going to be combining a few of these. So let's start off with just the gold. As you can see, you already get like a nice, super nice glow. Put a little bit on the tip of my nose. And then I'm going to do this white shade-ish, this whitish shade right here. And really get my brush deep in there to get that super highlight that I love, love, love glowing like a disco ball. I put it everywhere. Just want to be dripping in it. So now I've finished my whole skin regimen. And if you want to see my eye look, stay tuned for my part 2 video. And I will be using the NYX Avant Pop palette. And I will complete this look on video with you guys. I'll leave a link below to the second video. If you're watching this and there's no link below, that means it's not uploaded yet.